What's going on, Pat Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Ken's Pat's Talk Patriots podcast. I appreciate all y'all joining me, man. I really do. I really appreciate it, man. I hope all y'all doing great out there. Today, on this episode, we're going to be talking about some of the top offensive tackles in the 2023 NFL Draft and some of the best fits for the Patriots. Also, Patriots report today for offseason workout, so I get into that a little bit later on the show. But start off with these offensive tackles. You got Dewan Jones, Broderick Jones, Peter Skronsky, Antoine Harrison, Tyler Steele. That's a lot of guys. I think some of the best fits for the Pats, though, I'll probably go with Broderick Jones. 'Cause, we in the past we really drafted out of Georgia. We did a good job drafting out of Georgia. Sonny Michel, Isaiah Wynn. I know they probably didn't have the best Patriots careers, but we still draft them, and they had some success with us. Sonny Michel won a Super Bowl with us. Isaiah Wynn won a Super Bowl with us. So Georgia's they're full with talent. Their school's always they got a bunch of talent. Broderick Jones, he's a mauler. He's an animal. Like he is he's a legit monster. I've seen him just drag people into the ground. So I think that'll be a great pick for us if we can get him there. At 14, I believe we're gonna have our share. We're gonna have our pick of the litter when it comes to drafting some of these offensive tackles. Dewan Jones, another pretty good player. Paris Johnson from Ohio State. Darnell Wright out of Tennessee. I mean, it's a bunch of this class here is deep. You got Cody March out of South Dakota State, another good player. It's a deep class, man. Deep class of tackle. So if you don't get your guy in the first round, don't panic. I wouldn't panic. It's a long draft, maybe second, third. And one thing we know about the Patriots, we've always done a pretty good job of drafting offensive linemen. We're pretty good at drafting. That's one of the positions. We don't get a lot of positions right, but that's one of the positions that we do get right. Offensive line and running back. Offensive line, running back, and corners. We normally draft pretty well there. But yeah, for corner's sake, we draft those. I'm gonna do a cornerback show probably tomorrow Wednesday, but I'll go deeper in what I'm about to say now. But we normally we get steals in the undrafted free agent class, undrafted. So that's where we get guys from there in corner. But offensive line, we're pretty good. Like we got two guys coming back from last season that didn't even hurt. I mean, they didn't even play. Chasing Hines and Adam Stuber. So we got two guys coming back. We don't know what we got in those. I think one Hines is a guard, I believe, and Stuber could be a tackle. So we got to see what we got in those go. But nevertheless, the offensive line. So we've already addressed the offensive line position this offseason with Calvin Anderson, signing Riley Reed, tendering Yadi Kajus, bringing back Connor McDermott. I think McDermott played very good for us last year. Very underrated play we got from the Jets. I think he played real well for us last year. So I think we're stocked up there at the offensive line. It looks a lot better than what it did before. So I wouldn't necessarily reach for one in the first round. I'll probably go second or third. I feel like wide receiver, corner is where we should go with that pick, but wouldn't be too mad about it because we get a young player. We don't have a long-term answer there. We don't have a long-term answer there yet, so that's what I would do. Trent Brown, he's going to 5 years contract. He's kind of hit and miss. You don't know what day Trent Brown's going to have. He's going to give you a bunch of penalties or a bunch of holding calls or something. There's always going to be like a false start. It seems like there's always something going on with Trent Brown. So I wouldn't really don't have a long-term answer there. So that's the only question mark. We need a long-term answer, a tackle, just offensive line for the future. So I actually think we might double dip at offensive line along with a couple other positions. Probably going to double dip at corner, double dip at wide receiver, probably double dip offensive line. I think it's probably the best bet for us to do. Um, personally, I would go wide receiver 14 or corner 14. Then maybe in the second or third round, I'll draft offensive line. That's what I would do. The thing about Peter Skoronsky out of Northwestern, good player but short arms. So they kind of say he's undersized or whatnot. So what do we do there? Now we typically in the past, like I've heard and I've seen, like we don't really care about that, about the size and the arm strength and all that. Normally, we really don't care about that. So I really feel like we can we probably get Isaiah Wynn was undersized. Isaiah Wynn isn't the biggest guy. He was undersized, but he played decent for us when he was healthy. There's always something wrong with him, but he was okay for us. I just think we're probably gonna at 14. I just don't know if I go tackle or lineman right there. I don't think I would go right there. Me personally. I don't think that's the time to go, man. Yeah, if you want a good player, yeah, I would do that. I would have done it had we not addressed the position the way we did in the offseason. Yeah, it's a couple band-aid moves, nothing long term, but we still addressed it. So I wouldn't go there right away. I would, like I said, I would go wide receiver corner. That's my purpose. Um, what would we do? I don't know, but that's what I would do. I wouldn't go there. I would, man. Yeah, I just feel like tackle, offensive line is a position that you can get late on the draft. Maybe even the undrafted. Like I've always felt like you can draft a pretty decent lineman, find a pretty good decent lineman in the third or fourth round. I've always felt that way. Always. So I wouldn't necessarily reach for if our guys somebody ain't there at 14, we don't go at 14, passing this, I wouldn't panic. There's no use to panic right there. And nope, no use to panic. I'm not reaching for nobody. And just looking at some of the guys, like Tyler Sting out of Alabama. We've always drafted out of Alabama. I wouldn't mind him. I think you can get him in the third round. Braden McDaniels out of Utah. Probably get him in third. Blake Freeland out of BYU. Second or third round. I mean, some of these guys, like Broderick Jones, he probably can go first round. Donald Wright first round. Harrison probably go first round. DeJuan Jones first or late first. Just looking at some Jalen Duncan out of Maryland. He had a pro day a couple weeks ago. Get him in the second or third round. Like, it's some guys out there that you don't necessarily have to reach for in the first round. Like I said, if we don't get the guy first round, I would not panic. I would just wait it out. Just wait it out. That's what I would do, man. We got to address because we brought in Adrian Clam out of Oregon and formerly a pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Always had a pretty good offensive line. He did struggle with the Steelers, but with Oregon, they had one of the best offensive lines in the country last year. Like, so he did a pretty good job. Did a pretty good job with them. We need that. We've missed that since we lost Dante Scarnecchia. Offensive line last year was a mess last year. And that's kind of went like underrated. Nobody really talked about it a lot, but offensive line was a mess. No quarterback that was bad didn't have a lot of time last year. So along with not having the weapons to separate and the legit weapons on the outside, you barely got time to throw it to those guys. So that's a recipe for disaster. I feel like we have to bringing in Climate is going to really help. It's really going to help. Just like bringing in Billy O for the offense is going to really help. Bringing in Adrian Climb out of Oregon, signing him to that deal is really going to help. It's really going to help. So I like what we did in the coaching ranks of bringing Billy O.B. back, bringing A.J. Klein in there. Like, I think a lot of our issue last year came from coaching. If we could have just shored up a few times, I really think we could have had a better season. A lot of it came from just pure coaching. Just pure coaching. That's where a lot of it came from. So I really feel like those two names right there, Bill O'Brien and Klein, they're going to conjoin together. I think it's going to be pretty good for us. It's going to help out the offensive line. Isaiah Wynn's still a free agent, hasn't even signed yet. So that lets you know what the market, what teams really think about him. He struggled with the Pats, couldn't really stay healthy. Always something going on with him. So he's still out there. So be interested to see what we do there. I do think we're going to adjust our offensive line in the draft. I know we are. But just see where we do it. First round, second round, maybe later on in the draft. But we definitely will see what we do there. Now, Patriots reported today for offseason workouts today. Offseason program started today. Seen some pictures on some guys Twitter feeds on Twitter. Mac Jones, Parker, seen Bentley, Dietrich Wise, Peppers, like a lot. Seen a lot. Guys look excited. I seen Kendrick Bourne also. Didn't see no pictures of Juju, but guys look excited. I'm excited. I mean, football's a little bit back. You know what I mean? It's not training camp, but, it's off-season workouts. This is like, you got the draft. We're 10 days away from the draft. Draft is next Thursday. So we got the draft next week, and then now off-season workouts. So, after the draft, then you have rookie mini counts and things like that. But rumor has it that Mac has been in the building, been a constant presence in the building since probably the season ended, probably since February. He's been there. So that's good. February, March, he's been there. I think this period of the offseason is team building and team bonding, just gelling. Getting Matt with the coaches, getting the coaches with getting the players with some of these coaches, the new coaches we bring in, things like that. That's what this point in the offseason about. Offseason workout, strength and conditioning program, and all that good stuff. So I think that's good. The earliest we can get Mac Jones and some of the big time players into the system, get them integrated to this new system, the better. Also, there was a report out over the weekend that Billy O'Brien is completely remodeling the whole offense from last year. That's huge. He is completely remodeling the offense. Him coming in doing it, that's gonna be big for us because we seen last year it was a mess. It was a huge mess last year. I think y'all just don't know how big of a boost it's gonna be to have Billy O'Brien back in the fold. Like I just said, coaching was a lot of our problem last year. Just having an actual offensive coordinator, it's gonna mean a lot to your quarterback, mean a lot to the players because now they know they have somebody to talk to and to just transition from. You know what I mean? So just communicate with. So I think it's gonna be huge, man. That is huge. And they getting the beat on it early. They're getting the beat on it early, man. So that's gonna be huge, man, for this year, man. I can't wait. I'm so freaking excited. Bring in Juju Smith-Schuster. I seen Mike Gesicki today on some pictures I seen on Twitter. It's huge, man. What we're doing. Draft 10 days away. So I mean, like we've already like made a few moves, but this not it. We're gonna make some more moves in the draft. Probably after the draft. Probably during the draft, probably make some moves. Last couple weeks, well, last month or so, almost about last month, it's been a little quiet because in free agency after that first wave, after the first couple of waves, it kind of dies down to about the draft. So we're entering that time right now with not a lot going on. You get a few top 30 visits and teams reporting for workout stuff like that, but nothing major. DeAndre Hopkins still out there looking for a new team. Chosen Anderson, Robbie Anderson. Chosen Anderson, I don't want to call him Robbie. Chosen Anderson just signed with the Dolphins. Jalen Hurts just signed a big deal today. A huge deal. I think it's a 5 or 6 year deal worth 255 million, 51 million per year. I think 177 or something like that is guaranteed. So that was a huge deal for the Eagles to get that done, lock them up. Just makes you wonder like what they're gonna do with Herbert. Because Herbert's probably next. Burrow and Lamar Jackson still ain't got his deal. So that's a conversation for another day. A big conversation for another day. Another thing too, I feel with Dalvin Cook, he might get cut, and I think it's on Vikings. They did. I won't say doing a fire sale, but they've cut a few people this offseason. So let's see what the Vikings do, man. That's gonna be huge if they start and if they cut him before the draft. Obviously, teams gonna wait out the draft to pick him up. Dalvin Cook is a little bit older now. I don't know if he's 30 yet. I don't know if he's 30, 31, but we all know how running backs are when they get to the uphill climb. When they get to 30, it's about over with for a running back. He had a bunch of little injuries his whole career. Been banged up his whole career. I think he played most of last year. But when he's healthy on the field, Dalvin Cook is a pretty good player, a really good player for the Minnesota Vikings. So be interested. Maybe they like a restructure the contract. It's been rumored that if they can't restructure his contract, they're gonna have to cut him. So, if you're a Vikings fan out there, I know how y'all feel about that, but they're probably gonna end up cutting him and whatnot if they can't agree to a deal. Uh, I mean, it's a lot right now, man. Not too much going on, but just out the simple fact, like after the draft, these players, like right now, a little over a week from right now, a lot of these players, like right now, they don't know where they're gonna be at next week. By the end of next week, most of them gonna know. And like, I'm just so excited. I haven't been this ready for a draft in a good while. Man. I think it's coming so slow because the season ended in February after the Super Bowl. Then we had free agency. Now that it seems like it takes forever after free agency for the draft to start. So I cannot wait next Thursday, man. Gonna be a big night. Hopefully we pick because I remember some drafts in the past where we don't even pick. So I'm gonna wait in the next day because we end up trading back or something like that. So hopefully we mess around and we pick this year in the draft first round. I don't think I don't see us trading back. We got too many needs to sit around and trade back and miss out on some of these top players, man. A couple guys stock they're rising. Zay Flowers stock is rising. Manuel Forbes, cornerback out of Mississippi State, his stock is rising. Quentin Johnson, his stock is kind of dropping. I've seen a report that he probably won't even be in the first round, probably drop to the second round, mid-second round. That's huge. I don't believe it though. I don't believe it. Also, what are the Panthers going to do with that first pick? Bryce Young canceled all his visits. His upcoming, he canceled them. So it's sending out a little bit of smoke screen that maybe he might be going. It might be a done deal. He might be a Panther. It's crazy because to start the offseason, I was hearing a lot of CJ Stroud might go to Carolina. Now it seems like that steam has kind of lowered a little bit, and now it seems like it's not going to be Stroud. It's going to be probably Bryce Young. So you're a gambler out there. You want to go to Vegas? I don't know. Like I thought Stroud. He looks like a Panther. I thought it would actually be Stroud. I didn't think it would be Bryce Young, but it seemed like that's kind of coming back to earth now. It's going to be Bryce Young. A lot of people think Bryce Young is the better overall prospect. That's what a lot of people think. That Bryce Young is the better overall player. If y'all comment out there, I can't see no comments, so I'm sorry. Can't see any comments right now. Don't know if anybody comment. But yeah, man, other than that, that's all that's really going on. Draft talk, got some NBA playoffs going on, but I just want to get on here for a little bit, talk about some offensive tackles. Patriots offseason program start today. And other than that, just take it day by day, waiting for the draft, man. I cannot wait. I think we're in store for a crazy night. A crazy night. Just like last year, remember, A.J. Brown got traded to Philly. Hollywood Brown was traded from Baltimore to Arizona. So the Jerry Judy trade talk has kind of died down a little bit. I don't think that was – I mean, it was a thing before, but I don't think it's going to happen now. So maybe draft night. So don't just maybe draft it. Maybe it might happen during the draft. We'll see, man. So I'm ready, man. I'm gonna have my popcorn ready. I think we're gonna be in for a show on next Thursday night. I can't wait. But I will be back live on Wednesday night talking about some of the top cornerbacks and the best fits for the Patriots. Gonna be doing that show Wednesday night. Might have a special guest. Stay tuned for that. But like I always say, I appreciate y'all joining me. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Comment. Let me know what you think, what you agree on, what you disagree on, and just make sure you subscribe. Like I just said, man. I appreciate it, Pats Nation. Let's go.